So hello everybody, I've received a parcel today from MPB. We're going to do a little trial over the next few days, see how we get on. Excuse my video, I have got a dreadful cold, and also it's bonfire night, Guy Fawkes night in the UK, so you can hear fireworks going off outside. Anyway, let's get on with this. So this is come today from MPB. I'll open it very carefully. Two things that are in this box. The first thing is, those that know me know that I like to use Canon cameras, even though you will see me over the next few weeks trying different cameras. And in this box we've got two cameras. First thing is, I very much like to use a Canon R5, packed well. I like to use a Canon R5, and I also like to use, I own a 5D Mark IV. Actually, let me tell you what I own. I own some R5s, some R5 Mark IIs. I own some medium format cameras, a Fuji and a Hasselblad and a Bronica and a few different bits of all sorts of cameras, film. But one of my favourite cameras that I like to use is just a really simple Canon R. That's all it is, just a Canon R. I use that a lot. If I'm doing a shoot like on location where I'm photographing people, for example, if I'm doing some headshots for a company, or if I'm doing lots and lots of shots at a hair show, or I'll use this Canon R because it's really simple to use. It's really light, it's not as heavy as the R5s that I use. It's dead simple. Problem is, I used the Canon R at a hair show recently, and in 2 days I took 9,000 pictures, and that's quite a regular thing for me. So I've just got rid of a Canon R, and I would honestly say don't buy a camera from me, because I take lots of pictures. So the Canon I've just got rid of, the Canon R that I've just got rid of, had got almost 450,000 actuations, they call it. So it's quite a lot really. So what I've done is I've replaced the Canon R from MPB with a different Canon R, same camera because I like them and I know what I'm doing with them. I use the R5s for bigger work, bigger jobs, and the R5, the megapixel is really much higher. The Canon R is the same megapixel as the 5D Mark IV, which is also one of my favourite cameras that I own. Last year I sold a beautiful 5D Mark III with a 24-105 lens on it. And as soon as I sold it, I regretted it because it tends to tether a little bit better than the when I say tether, that means I connect it to the computer, if you don't know, and it actually works a little bit better than the Mark IV. I prefer the Mark III. It's not as high a megapixel, but you know something, it's not the big deal, is it? Because everybody's looking at the pictures on a 2.5-inch screen. Anyway, let's open this box and I'll show you what I've got. I'm going to do a photo shoot in Glasgow over the coming weekend. And on that photo shoot, I'm going to use the Canon R that I've got now. But what I've actually done is I've bought another 5D Mark III. So well packed, really well looked after. So what have we got first? We've got the Canon R. Do you know what? Actually, this is quite worrying because I've got a horrible feeling something's missing. Anyway, I've got the Canon R, so let's open that first. Really nicely packed away. I'm not so keen, MPB, I'm not so keen on these stickers you put on the box. So I've got to really, I'll probably ask my wife to really carefully. Oh, it comes off really easy. Oh, I take it back. That's beautiful the way that's done. It's come off really simple. So that's one up for Canon, for MPB. So let's have a look what we've got. We've got a brand new charger, so the one that was inside it must have been missing. I've got lots of these, by the way, so I probably will never open that. I've got the strap, which looks like brand new. It's out of the polythene, but it looks brand new. So let's move that out of the way. And then in this box, I have got a, let's put that over there. I have got the 24 to 105 lens. This is like so well packed, it's unbelievable. So I've got the 24 to 105 lens. It's brand spanking new, as good as I would say. It looks brand new. Let's have a look at the lens. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we'll put that on the windowsill over there. Move this packaging out of the way. And then we've got the Canon R body. Let's take a quick look at that. It said on MPB that it was as new. And it literally looks like it's brand new. One of the things I do, because I shoot on a tripod a lot, is I always scratch the bottom there, so that always looks a little bit dodgy. So let me show you something that I always do. As soon as, is there a battery in that already? Yeah, the battery's in there. Let's have a little look. So one of the things I always do is, and I don't know whether it's me being paranoid or whether I'm being daft or what, but the first thing I do is I get the lens. So in this case, it's a 24 to 105. And before I do anything, I put this on the camera. And you might not believe me when I tell you this, but I will never take that off now. I'd sooner buy another lens and use a 24 to 105 like that. On my other cameras, I've got a 24 to 105 L series lens, but on these Canon R's, the reason I do it, I have got, unfortunately, I've got a little bit of arthritis in the back of my hands, and my fingers and my hands ache. So I use this camera really light. Let's switch it on, let's have a quick look at it. Okay, that's lovely. No card in the camera. Battery's low, so we'll get that charged up in a second or two. But that's beautiful. So that is the Canon R. Its build is excellent, and it looks excellent. It looks like it's absolutely brand new. So that's a lovely thing and a lovely camera. So let's just put that back on and put that out of the way. So very pleased with that. I'll give that a good go over the weekend. Put the body caps and everything back there. And then the other one is this, I have got a, let's open the box. Well, let's just show you this. When you buy something from MPB, it's actually incredible the way they do it. So let me just show you this, look. This, you just literally peel that, look. And the box is open. It's absolutely gorgeous the way they do things. So let me have a look what we've got in there. We've got a power lead. We have got a strap. I've never put a strap on. A strap on. I've never put a strap on. I actually never put a strap on my cameras. I always use like a little hand one. So we've got the charger, and I actually panicked when I saw this box because it looks really small. But as you can see, what they've done is they've brilliantly packed the camera and the lens into the box. So let's see what we've got. Let's open these two up. So the first thing we've got is I've got about 4. How many have I got? I think No, I've got 5 24 to 105 lenses. I've got 2 on the R5s, 2 on the R5 2s. I've got 1 on this Canon R. So this camera, it's an old Mark III. It was sold as excellent. And I can tell you something. That looks like brand new. That looks like it's a brand new camera. That is incredible. That's absolutely incredible. I am absolutely shocked. I mean, the base plate on an old Mark III, that would generally, that is a Mark, it is a Mark III. Do you know something? For a second then I thought, this ain't a Mark III, this must be a Mark IV. Or... So that is incredible condition. That's beautiful. Anyway, I digress. So I've got a few 24 to 105 lenses. And what I've got with this one is, I thought I'd fancy a change. I was watching Josh Ryan shooting a campaign for guests, and what he got on his R5 was the 70 to 200. And you know what? I always wanted one of these, and I couldn't actually, when I first started using Canon, actually it might have been, no, it would have been the Canon Mark I. And I wanted one of these 70 to 200s. And to be truthful, I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it at all. So I always wanted one, and then and that is mint as well. MPB, you have absolutely delivered the goods here. By the way, I'm not sponsored by MPB. I'm just showing you what I've bought from them. So it's a beautiful lens. It's a beautiful lens. It's a 70 to 200. It's a gorgeous piece of kit. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's got, you can focus down to 1.2 and you can do it onto the 3-meter one, which I always leave that. Always put my cameras on autofocus. That is a beautiful, anyway, let's cut the crap. Let's straight away, before we do anything else, let's get this onto the camera. Now I'll put that on there, and like I said with the R5, now that makes that a little bit heavy. It's a little bit heavy, I'm not going to lie. But it's still beautiful. So, I haven't used one of these for a while, so let me just work. Oh yeah, you switch on over there. No card in camera again. MPB, you could have put me a card in. So that is absolutely gorgeous. I am so impressed with that. And you know what, the focus is absolutely gorgeous. Let me just see how far we can. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to just move that to the 1.2 switch there, because I wanted to, you know what? I started wearing reading glasses about 2 years ago, and now I can't see anything without them. So let's have a little look at that. You know what, compared to, do you know what I've just done? I just pressed the shutter, and it's that unmistakable, almost a clunk of a real beautiful piece of kit. I am so pleased with this. So let's have a look what we've got today. We've got the Canon R, and we've got the Canon 5D Mark III. Two beautiful cameras. I'm going to use both of these over the weekend to do some hair and beauty work. I'm looking forward to shooting. I know this is my workhorse that I use from a day to day, and when I want to get the big guns out, I use the R5s. But these cameras, they're beautiful. The only problem is, like I just said to you earlier, I put about 450,000 actuations on the last one. I sold that to someone. I did tell them how many actuations it's got, but I sold it very, very cheap. And this one might sound silly, but I'm really looking forward to using this. When I sold the Mark III, I sold it, I was talking to a photographer. Sorry, I was talking to a gentleman, and his wife wanted to buy a better camera, and she got something like a 1300D, which was an okay camera. But he wanted to get like a newer camera, and he couldn't afford it. And I said to him, listen, I've got a camera you can buy, but it's had a lot of shots taken on it, because I thought he ain't going to understand, because he wasn't a photographer, he was just buying one for his wife. I said it's going to have a lot of actuations on it, which shots taken. And he was like, yeah, fine. And he said, how long is it going to last me? And I said, well, I think Canon recommend that you get about 250,000, but I saw one on MPB the other day, and that had got over 2.5 million actuations on it. Can you believe that? That's crazy, isn't it? So let me just tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to Glasgow the weekend. I'm shooting at a big hair show. I'm going to do some hair shots. I'm going to do some beauty shots. I'm really looking forward to getting some really close-up makeup shots with this camera. Let me just see how. Oh, I'm really close there. I'm about 2 meters away, and then if I focus about 6 meters away. You know what? Considering new cameras are like, I personally think that the R5 Mark II has got faster focusing than the R5 Mark 1. And I would tell you to make sure you've got the latest firmware on them, because that makes a massive difference. But I'm really pleased with these cameras that we've got. This is the 70-200. It's only the f4. I shoot in a studio most of the time, so I don't really need the f1.8s and the f2.8s and things like that. That does come off, doesn't it? That. You know what I'm going to do? I love that. But you know what I'm going to do when I'm working? I'm going to take that off. It's gorgeous. I'm so pleased with what we've got. It's the EF 70-200 f1.4. It's an L series lens, so it's going to be incredibly sharp. Very pleased. Can't believe the condition of either one of these. Both of these cameras are absolutely mint. I feel truly blessed to this one now, actually. I don't know if you guys out there have got a bald head, but when you've been busy all day like I've been, and I've got home, I've had a shower and I've got myself ready, and straight away there's a greasy face mark straight up there. But anyway, I'm really pleased with this. Whoever used it, owned it before me, you've kept this. You've kept this so. This has got 9,000 actuations on it. Actually, this had got. So whoever's looked after this, incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm so pleased with it that I couldn't even begin to tell you. I couldn't even begin to tell you how pleased I am with it. MPB, thank you so much for sending me these two cameras. I'd like to say a little. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but you know, the way they've treated me and the way they've looked after me is incredible. A girl called Rosie in customer service was excellent, and then I'd got my postcode wrong on the order, so a young gentleman called Jordan sent me an email saying, Paul, you've got the postcode wrong. And then when I rang to thank them, a lovely bloke called Will. So when you're buying a camera from somewhere like MPB, you're not only getting a blooming good camera, you're getting the service and the backup. And on both of these cameras, I've got 12 months warranty. I'll be honest with you, I shall never sell this one. I regretted getting rid of the three I had before. And because this is so clean, this will never leave my never leave my possession. I shall keep this forever. But this one will probably be sold in about 6 months with another 500,000 actuations on it. So, thank you, MPB. I'm not going to leave a link anywhere below or anything, because you know MPB, you know where to buy them from. They're not. I'm not sponsored by them. They've just sold me this stuff. They've taken my hard-earned cash, but I'm very grateful for what you've done for me. They're incredible. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.